Another area of questions, and you spoke about this a little bit earlier, is who has the responsibility to do these actual filling in of import declarations, etc.? Where does that lie? Is that specific to every contract, or is that just something that members need to figure out themselves?
Yeah, so again, it depends on so if it's an excuse me, an individual or business using it for commercial purposes, it would be them that would need to make the declaration because they are benefiting. So they would be, if you're, again, sorry to use a proverbial example, you're putting a piece of furniture in the back of a HGV, you're the one selling it, you are the consignor, and you are delivering it to, say, a business, a furniture shop in France or Southern Ireland, they are the consignee. So the responsibility for the declarations then depends on the Incoterms. So okay. if the Incoterms are delivered duty paid, DDP, the responsibility is for the GB supplier to make both sets of declarations, both in GB and the Republic of Ireland, if we use that example. Other Incoterms move those declarations around. So Ex Works, the responsibility would be the Northern Ireland Furniture Store to make both declarations. And then you've got another 9 declarations such as FCA, DAP, where you split the declarations, but the haulage part of it varies as to who is responsible for which part of the journey. If you have a car leasing company who's moving, say, 100 cars themselves, then the declaration can be one declaration for the 100 cars. So it doesn't matter if it's 1 car or 100 cars, it's effectively one declaration covering that. Obviously, the price, the transaction value would have to be declared based on 100 cars, clearly.
And so there's quite a few different approaches which firms can take when they are making contracts with who they're using to deliver goods, etc., as to who has that responsibility.
Absolutely, yes, yeah. And it is down to negotiation. So sorry to use this furniture example. Then in that instance, the business who's made the furniture, as I say, might want to hire a HGV and drive it across themselves. And they've taken more responsibility. So if they're delivering it to the premises of the furniture shop in the Republic of Ireland, then it would either be DAP delivered at place or DDP delivered duty paid. So a lot of it comes down to who's responsible for the haulage, and then you have 1 or 2 Incoterms which move it between who's responsible for the declaration.
Well, a member asked a question that they have a firm who sells used vehicles from Northern Ireland into the Republic of Ireland, and they were flagged that they might need to show origin of these used vehicles. Is that correct, or something which people need to be aware of?
Yeah, so if these used vehicles are originally in Northern Ireland and they're moving to Southern Ireland, then it's a, I don't like using this word, an intra-EU movement. It's the same as it is today. No tariffs, no customs declarations. It's moving on the island of Ireland. If it has started off from Great Britain, a used vehicle moving from Northern Ireland to Southern Ireland, then knowingly moved, then that will require declarations and tariffs if it's knowingly moved. If the used vehicle, and this is maybe an extreme example, moves to Northern Ireland and stays there a year, technically the main argument would be it's in free circulation in Northern Ireland and it's then been moved a year later. It's probably going to be, again, decided as a movement on the island of Ireland. So a lot of it does depend on time limits, but if someone is knowingly moving goods to Northern Ireland to move them on to Southern Ireland, then tariffs, if there are tariffs, could be payable.
And I guess the question then is, would there be a burden on you to prove that a vehicle's been in Northern Ireland for a certain period of time?
Yeah, absolutely. So if again, sorry to use the car leasing, car rental company example, if you're moving cars, say 50 cars to Northern Ireland, you can declare them in one movement if you're moving all 50 at the same time, and that would be one import declaration and one entry safety and security declaration. And if they're staying in Northern Ireland and you know and you're convinced, what you could do is that it's been announced this week a new UK trusted trader system where you register and you're allowed to some extent to self-certify that those goods have remained in Northern Ireland. They will, however, be subject to audit. So upon audit, if you cannot evidence that, you will be obviously subject to penalties and fines. That trusted trader system should be available. Still, full details are going to be made available, and do look out for Northern Ireland Customs and Trade Academy for those details. But clearly, again, if you're defined as a high-risk trader with penalties for non-compliance or poor record keeping, then clearly that might not be available to you. But I'm sure none of the members are that.